everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we should have a fun one on our hands. It's the Cardinals coming in at 5-5, going up against the Rams, who come in at 5-6.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Los Angeles Rams and the Arizona Cardinals. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback in his 14th year now. Played his college ball at NC State, Phillip Rivers.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. The bottom line, how do they get a win?
And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Second down, Rivers. And that'll be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And it's third down. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Now a run. This is Alfred Blue. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to. The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position. I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their quarterback from Central Florida. It's Blake Bortles.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. The numbers for Perkins on the ground a week ago. 19 carries, 84 yards.
So he scored his 8th touchdown on the ground last week, and most guys I know, they want to get into round numbers. So, you know, 10 is really the goal. And this is one sport where being selfish and scoring touchdowns is a good thing. Look for he and the offense to try and get him in there at least twice in this game.
They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Bortles to throw on 3rd and 1. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there, and if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Past the 20, and he takes it down deep into Arizona territory. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
And depending on the type of screen called, especially when you're throwing it with one of your wideouts, it's different blocking. Sometimes you get great blocking from the other wide receivers helping you. And how about sometimes getting it from the offensive linemen who sell it like a regular screen pass and then get out in front of the receiver and help him get downfield.
Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. And he will score. Touchdown, L.A. Blake Bortles with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again. Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Play clock winding down. Rivers to throw it. And complete over the middle. Safarian Jenkins. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up.
The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Tomahali in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. Letting one go deep for a noon one. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
How about this offense? Already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive. It's certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here is the punter Jones as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 33. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. They'll run it here with Blount. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now at a 3rd and 6.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Throw left side, taken in by Hill. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a first down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They go play action. Rivers. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Working out of the gun, Rivers. It's caught. Kamar Aiken. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The drive starts with a run by Perkins. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that plan any down.
Now Darkwa. There's the stiff arm. Back live now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. On the give, it's Perkins. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Taken right on the 30. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad. Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
On 2nd down, Rivers again. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary.
He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Albert Wilson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals are just an extra point away from tying this game. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, L.A. Paul Perkins, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Rams have taken the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
2nd down now after the pass completion.
Ready, be hot.
Now a carry for Blunt. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Rivers. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
A bullet throw, but incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. On second down, Perkins. And he'll get this one up to the 26. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And that is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Pulled in at the 24. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Safarian Jenkins has it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Play fake, Rivers. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
And this one's incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, an update from there. It's the Chargers out to an early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout.
There we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. And this one grabbed by Darren Fells. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs.
Here we go now. Green, 90.
They'll try right side with Perkins. Strong run, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
They go with Perkins again. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves them with a 3rd down and 8. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from the desert after this. When halftime rolls around in just a bit, we'll send you to Orlando. You will hear the dulcet tones of Mr. Larry Ridley with our EA Sports halftime report.
Does dulcet mean good?
Yeah, it's just something that broadcasters say. It's got to be good, right?
It's gotta be
you
good.
tell me.
Well, it's got to be good if Larry's doing it. Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again, so it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And then know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
Here's Blown. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Here's Dorsett. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. On first down, Bortles. Anunu's got it, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Here we go now. Green, 90. Green,
Bortles now on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And some space here. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Into the red zone, it's Bortles. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You just analyze.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Tomahawk. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
And that extra yardage makes this upcoming field goal attempt much more manageable.
Agreed, because when you talk to defensive coordinators, they always tell us the 35-yard line on our side of the field, that's the line we guard the most aggressively, because once they get there, they believe they're in field goal range.
So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead. Larry, go back to the green room, my friend. These guys are ready to go again. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They run with Perkins, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he's able to hold on to the football.
Perkins on 3rd down, and he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And he fields it cleanly. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Kamar Aiken, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
And this is incomplete. Rhett Allison, the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And the Rams now coming out on the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
On the run, it's Perkins, and he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
They'll try to pick it up with Perkins. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They go play action here on first down. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. Terrell McClain in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Jerron Brown, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
The play clock's running down. Here's Blue. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards to go here on 3rd down. Throwing, Rivers. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. The 13 yards that time and a first.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now Rivers. And some room to maneuver. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
About 3 yards there to the 27.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Time running out here on the play clock. To throw is Rivers. Hard throw, incomplete. Now on 4th down, Bruce Arians will send out his field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that will close the gap down to 14. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. And he's got some space here. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Now Perkins fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And he'll go down at the 28. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The Rams on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now Bortles. And he's got room. And he slides to avoid the hit. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
They'll let the shorter back Perkins run it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Paul Perkins, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Rams add on to their lead. Gold now out to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive in with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now Rivers. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on third down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have fourth down to try and pick it up.
And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Rams get the football in outstanding field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Here's Darquan. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. A gain of 3, second down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Again, they go to Perkins. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
So they're operating in the red zone. Shotgun now for Bortles. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Jaron Brown, the intended target. And now it's second down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing. Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one.
And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Bortles. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jay Howard in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So out now come the Cardinals. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Rivers. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They'll get 16 yards there, and it's good enough for an Arizona first. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Throw right side, complete to Williams. A gain of 6 there on first. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Going underneath to Blunt. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. First down, Rivers. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I don't know about you, but I wanted to reach out of the booth and snatch that pass myself. That thing floated forever up there. I think that threw off the timing of the receiver. That's why he couldn't get his feet down even though he caught the ball.
You know, Charles, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, me too.
For you. I wanted to see you reach out and catch that.
Yeah, you've heard about my hands, huh?
They'll need to get the play off quickly. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd.
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Austin Seferian-Jenkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals cut into that lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Now Bortles. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Now a play fake here on first down. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well. Throwing on first down is Bortles. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Now Bortles. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could pop.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defense coordinator said,
and he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. Paul Perkins, his third touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the Rams use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra.
Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always say.
Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. It's the Cardinals in control of the football as we wind our way toward a conclusion in the fourth quarter. Rivers to throw it. And the Rams got it. They bring him down. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. On third down, Rivers. Throw, but incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Rams, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, it'll be loss number 6 on the season for them. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaud. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.